Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURHAYATIE and welcome back to Triple S channel. So today I'm going to share with all of you about Abbasid Empire. So any one of you know what is Abbasid Empire? Okay, a little bit background about Abbasid Empire. Abbasid Empire was founded in the beginning of 2nd century, which is equivalent to 750 CE. And the fall of this empire is during the middle of 4th century, which is equivalent to 950 CE. Okay, Abbasid Empire, also known as the Golden Age of Islam, and the founder of Abbasid Empire is Abu Abbas. Okay, and Abbasid Empire, the name of the empire itself is derived from Prophet Nabi Muhammad uncles, which is known as Abbas bin Abdul Muttalib.
Hello. Hey guys, I have something to share. Right, so you know where am I right now? Can you see all the books here? I'm in the library now. One of the reasons is because of the birth of centers of learning in every part of Islamic state. Okay. So Imam Shafi'i, which is the founder of Shafi'i Mazhab, has first journeyed to Hijaz to study under Imam Malik, which is the founder of Maliki Mazhab. So then he went to Iraq in order to study under Muhammad ibn al-Hasan, and finally to Egypt to study under Imam al-Layth ibn Sa'ad, founder of the Laythi Mazhab. So this journey has resulted firstly in the reconciliation of some of the major differences which had arisen among scholars, and ultimately in the combination of some schools of the Islamic legal thought. So this actually explains why there are 4 major mazhab in Islam. Other than Imam Shafi'i, one of the scholars that is prominent in Islamic law is Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani, a prominent student of Abu Hanifa. Abu Hanifa, as we know, is the founder of Hanafi Mazhab, who traveled from Iraq to Madinah in order to study under Imam Malik, same like Imam Shafi'i. So he had to memorize his book of hadith, which is Al-Muwatta, and that shows that because of centers of learning, all these scholars travel from each part of this, travel from one center of learning to another, just to enhance their knowledge on Islamic law.
وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وما تقدموا لأنفسكم من خير تجدوه عند الله إن الله بما تعملون بصير صدق الله العظيم. Hello everyone. You guys know that the Quranic verses that I have read just now is from Surah Al-Baqarah verse 110. This surah consists of the commandments from Allah for His slave to perform the prayers. If we were to rely on the Quranic verses alone, we wouldn't know on how to perform our daily prayers, right? So, Sunnah exists to elaborate further any general commandments from Allah stated in the Quran. As we know, the Holy Quran is the main sources of Islamic law. However, the Sunnah also can be considered as the second primary sources of Islamic law after the Holy Quran. So today, I would like to share with all of you another contribution of Abbasid era, which is the compilation of Sunnah. Sunnah can be divided into 3. The first one is Sunnah Fi'liyah, which is the actions of Prophet Muhammad. The second one is Sunnah Qawliyah, which is the sayings or specific words of Prophet Muhammad. And lastly, Sunnah Taqririyah, which is the silent approvals. In the year 99 of Hijrah, Caliph Umar ibn Abdul Aziz instructed Abu Bakr ibn Hazim to compile the hadith of the Prophet. Imam Bukhari narrates that Umar Abdul Aziz wrote a letter to Abu Bakr which stated that look for a hadith of the Messenger of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala and wrote them down. For indeed, I fear the disappearance of the scholars of the Sunnah and also the loss of their knowledge. So, during Abbasid era, the compilation of Sunnah can be divided into 3 different ways. So the first one, compiling collections that combine sayings of the Prophet Muhammad and also the view of the scholars, which consists of sayings of Prophet Muhammad, sayings of the companions, and also sayings of the Tabi'in. The second one, by the end of 2nd century of Hijrah, Sunnah was compiled and listed according to the narrators of the particular hadith itself, and this compilation known as Musnad. So the lastly, during the 3rd century of Hijrah, compilation of Sunnah was based on different topics in fiqh. Altogether, there are 6 authentic collections of hadith. The first one is Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Sunan An-Nasa'i, Sunan Abu Dawud, Sunan Ibn Majah, and lastly Al-Jami of Al-Tirmidhi. Lastly, the need to record the authentic Sunnah is to prevent the fabricated narrations from creeping into the hadith literature.
During Abbasid era, it was compiled on a wide scale and a systematic approach. This compilation was begun during the time of Prophet Muhammad SAW, when he instructed some of his companions to compile rulings related to zakah and was distributed to his governor in order to implement them. And then, during this period, which is Abbasid era, the scholars of different areas of Islamic Empire started to collect and compile the earliest fiqh from the earliest scholars. The earlier books of fiqh usually were a mixture of legal rulings, hadith, and opinion of the companion Prophet Muhammad and the successors of the companions.
Firstly, scholars of Al-Madinah compiled opinions and views of Abdullah ibn Umar, AISYA, Abdullah ibn Abbas, and the successors, which is Tabi'in. For example, the compilation of Imam Malik in Muwatta. Besides, we have scholars of Iraq who compiled legal views of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Surah, and others. This can be seen as Ibrahim al-Nakai, who is one of the prominent scholars of Iraq who compiled this view. Other than that, some scholars compiled their own rulings. For example, Imam Abu Hanifah and Imam Ahmad would issue legal verdicts which later compiled by their students. Imam Malik's Al-Muwatta integrate hadith and opinion of the companions of the Prophet and his personal rulings. Imam Al-Shafi'i's books of fiqh entitled Al-Umm contains his legal rulings supported by their proofs. Some books of fiqh were written about the basic principle of fiqh and hadith being mentioned to support the author's deduction. For example, Kitab Al-Haraj by Imam Abu Yusuf, who is a student of Imam Abu Hanifah, and Kitab Al-Umm by Imam Al-Shafi'i.
Other books of fiqh concentrate on the application of fiqh principle and little reference to hadith. These books were arranged in fiqh chapters based on the issue discussed. For example, the 6 books by the Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hasan, which is Al-Maqsud, Al-Jami' Al-Kabir, Al-Jami' Al-Sahih, Al-Zidayat, and Al-Siyar Al-Kabir. Apart from that, the science of deducing of rulings were also compiled. This can be seen by the work of Imam Hanafi, which is called Al-Risalah.
Another contribution of the Abbasid Caliphate in the development of Islamic law is the emergence of the different schools of Islamic law. In this era, we could see the establishment of 4 well-known mazhab of Islamic law, namely Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, and Hanbali schools. Other than that, there were other schools of Islamic law founded. For example, the schools of Awza'i, Sufyan al-Thawri, Ibn Abi Layla, Abu Tar, and Al-Layth ibn Sa'id. However, most of them disappeared later on as a result of the lack of effort in spreading and codifying the views developed by the founders of this school. During this period of the development of field, the sources of Islamic law diversified, in which the scholar had included several sources as part of their reference in deducing the rulings of fiqh. These sources can be divided into two types, namely the sources in which all the scholars are in agreement in utilizing them, and the sources in which the scholars differ in considering them as authentic sources of Islamic law. The agreed sources are Al-Quran, Sunnah, Ijma, and Qiyas, while the sources in which the scholars differ in utilizing them are Istihsan, Al-Masalih Al-Mursalah, Al-Istihsab, and Sad Al-Dara'i.
Hello guys! You know, we have always been amazed by the Westerners' scientific discoveries. But do you know, during Abbasid era, they already has witnessed the fiqh taking shape as an independent Islamic science. The fiqh, in fact, was divided into two sections, which are the first one, it is about the principle of fundamental, and the second one, it is about the principle of scientific. For the principle of scientific, it begins with the great spirit of the Muslim itself during Abbasid era in gaining knowledge. They are also inspired by the Quran and Sunnah, which cultivate their knowledge of various sciences such as in mathematics, in astronomy, and also in medicine. Even their own caliph also shows great interest in development of scientific learning, especially the second Abbasid caliph, which is Abu Ja'far al-Mansur. Okay, so now let's take a look at the contribution of the Muslims.
First, in mathematics, Al-Khwarizmi was known through his books on algebra, where it contains analytical solutions of linear and quadratic equations. He also gave geometrical solutions with figures of quadratic equations. For example, x2 plus 10x equals to 39. Even the trigonometry, which includes sine and cosine, also was developed and advanced by Muslims.
Next,
in astronomy, Habash al-Hasib developed a method calculating celestial distances exactly. He calculated the perimeter of Earth and diameter of Moon. He developed a graphical method to find Qibla. He was the first to calculate the exact appearance of the new moon. His book, The Book of Bodies and Distances, is of astronomical use. Lastly, in medicine, Ar-Razi had made a study on the various organs of the body and contributed a chapter on the theme of maintaining health and also the effects of drugs and diets to the human body. One of his books was about smallpox and measles, where at first the smallpox and measles were known together. However, Ar-Razi noticed the dissimilarities between these two and recommended that they were indeed two different diseases. Thus, the World Health Organization praised Ar-Razi for his findings on measles and smallpox, which shows originality and accuracy.
Hi guys, okay, bear with me. This is the last contribution of Abbasid era. As a law student in Faculty of Law, UiTM Shah Alam, I am very honored that our alumni, Tan Sri Richard Malanjum, as the Chief Justice of Malaysia. Okay, so upon the appointment of Tan Sri Richard Malanjum as the Chief Justice of Malaysia has restored the faith of justice among the citizens in Malaysia. During the Umayyad era, the Qadi was appointed by the provincial or city governors. There was a narrative depicting that a Qadi will defy with the governor or a governor will obey with the Qadi. Therefore, the office of Qadi is illustrated as an office of structural instability. Directly appointed the Qadi of the empire. This is in order to increase the caliph's grasp upon the state. Al-Mansur, another intention is also that he wanted the new dynasty to appear as the guarantor of justice and equity throughout the provinces and enhancing its legitimacy. Al-Mansur's another intention of transferring the power of appointment of the Qadis from the provincial or city governors to the Caliph state is because that he wanted the new dynasty to appear as the guarantor of justice and equity throughout the provinces and also enhancing its legitimacy. In conclusion, the Abbasid era is definitely the golden age of Islam.
And this can be seen through the 5 contributions of Abbasid that we have shared before.
We hope you enjoy and get benefits from this video.